How to find out my girlfriend's ring size without her knowing. How do people just suddenly propose with a suitable ring? I am planning on proposing to my girlfriend, but I really don't want her to suspect anything. Well, at least not make it obvious. How is something like this usually done? Can I just estimate her size and then resize it later? Any pro tips? Edit, I ended up asking her for her ring size. Suck on her finger, then keep your mouth in that exact shape while you make your way to the jeweler's. People usually just get a close enough estimate and resize later. Ring size is tricky. Congrats and good luck. I saw a post on Reddit that a guy asked his GFS friend to go out with her. Then at the mall the friend wanted to go to a jewelry store to try on rings for shits and giggles, and they both had themselves sized, and the friend also got to see what kind of rings the GF liked. OFC, she passed all that information to the BF later and GF had no clue. Smiley face. This. My sister and I did this. For future reference, lol. I have heard if you're not sure it's better to be a bit bigger for resizing or a spacer. Not 100% on that thought. Here's the thing, you're talking about a piece of jewelry that you're asking her to wear every day for the rest of her life. So unless you have great taste and know her taste extremely well, you probably shouldn't pick the ring out on your own. If you are committed to doing a proposal without having prior discussions, shopping trips to look at rings, that's cool, but you should probably propose with an extremely plain placeholder ring that you can return, and then set a budget and pick out a ring she actually wants to wear. So a friend of mine proposed to his now wife with a plastic ring and a Tiffany gift card. Get one of her rings, but pay attention to what ring she wears on which finger. I have rings for all 5 fingers, so obviously they're different sizes. So pay attention to a ring she wears on the ring finger of her right hand and see if you can sneak it out to a jeweler, because they can size it. Other considerations: ring thickness. How wide a band is slightly changes how well the ring fits. Dominant hand is often slightly bigger than the non-dominant hand, so if she's right-handed, the ring for her left hand could even be a half size smaller. If the ring you're getting is gold/white gold, silver, or platinum, resizing is completely fine. Those metals can be worked on by a jeweler. If you're going a less traditional route, like stainless steel or titanium, you're gonna have to get the right size because they can't be modified like noble metals. Some settings, the cage that will hold the stone, are more temperamental than others. Rings in cases are usually a standard size 7. If the ring had to go down to say, a 4, which happens often, my ring finger is a 4.5, some settings might get pulled open due to how the ring gets resized. So you're gonna want to be close to her real size from the very first step. Good luck. How do I deal with an older housemate who seems to think that I am her personal slave? How do I deal with an older housemate who seems to think that I am her personal slave? Long story short, I moved into a house share with 3 other people, 2 male 1 female. She seems to believe that this is her house despite knowing full well it's not. She has this habit of not emptying the bin, acting as if it's not her job. She will go so far as to tying the bin, moving the entire bin over to the front door so it blocks you going to work. So you have no choice but to take it out. Now, I'm not being petty, but if you have the ability to not only tie the bin but to move it all the way to the front door and leave it there, then your lazy ass can take it out. The biggest gripe for me is I've been on holiday for a month, got back and came straight to bed. I've gone down to get a drink of water and she turns around to me and says this is for you and tries to hand me the bin. So I pick the bin up, take it to the door and just fling it into the front garden and go back to my room with my drink. Yes, not my proudest moment, and sure it wasn't my most mature moment, but I'm half asleep, just got back from holiday. I haven't even put a single item in that fucking bin and she's sat there saying this is for you. How do I deal with this person? Because I'm actually getting to the point where I am going to end up screaming in her face. Face her straight on. Call her out on her bullshit. Get the other roommate in on it too. That's not acceptable behavior if your side is to be believed. The only way to deal with it is head on. You have to confront her, preferably with the other housemates present, and tell her this won't fly. You are far better than I am. I learned the trick of the trade from my dad. I refused to do the dishes. I was a teenage girl and dishes were just so beneath me. Thought myself quite the queen. For about a month straight my dad fought with me. Then one day when I came home from school all the dirty dishes were in my bed. Now I had dishes and laundry to do. I was pissed. But it got the message across. Next time she does this, put the bin in her room. This comment made me laugh because I was the same. Due to no fault of my parents. My dad gave me a desk job in the manufacturing company he ran. He asked me to take the trash out for everyone in the office. I was appalled and refused. It felt beneath me. My dad, the head honcho there, scoffed at me and tried to get through to me with humor and sarcasm. I still refused, I think. Hard to remember now. Soon my job was moved to a messy job out in the factory with some of the other factory employees. Man, that was so good for me. I made some good friends, had a good time, and I will never again believe any job, big or small, is beneath me. Being a teenager is fun. I look forward to parenting mine someday. Speak with your other roommates before you engage if you get the opportunity. Assuming your rental agreement is equal from all members, you need to bring the issue to the table for everyone in the house. If she does not have the final say in the house, she has to share the responsibility of cleaning it. Personally don't like them, but worst case scenario, you and your roommates agree to a shared cleaning list that says who is responsible for what on what days or weeks. But if she doesn't have any more or less say than you, then you need to stand your ground. In the moment, you could have asked her why. Why is this bin mine, when I've been away for a month? When she leaves the bin at the door, push it to the side and walk out. Challenge her calmly. As others have mentioned, when you get the chance, talk to your housemates and approach her poor behavior together. The accidental dingaling rammed in the un-lubed booty hole. How often is breakup worthy? Edit. Thank you all very much for your input. I read every single comment and it was definitely an eye-opener. I'll be deleting my account because I don't want a certain someone to see my posts and put it together. Thank you again. I suppose it happens to everyone every now and then, but how much is normal / how much is excessive and breakup worthy? 5 times in 3 years. We're talking penetration, tears, I guess, and a bit of bleeding. I'm getting more and more nervous of sex because of all the accidents. In the 15 years since I started having sex, this has never happened. Yep, I've felt it accidentally touch the gnawing, but every guy I've been with is perfectly capable of stopping before any penetration occurs. I've been having enthusiastic, rowdy sex for 30+ years and no accidental butt excursions have occurred. There are no accidents happening here. You're being lied to. Definitely breakup worthy the first time, much less the 5th. This never happens by mistake. Yes, a slip and oops almost got in can happen, but multiple separate times? That's straight up sexual assault, my friend. Girl, I looked at your post history and Jesus Christ. You need to leave this man, like yesterday. He jokingly threatens you with violence, has a Tinder, told you he wants to have sex the way he wants to. You suspect he posted your nudes somewhere without your permission, and 5 times in 3 years is most definitely not an accident. Please break up with him, you deserve better. I mean, how many red flags do you need? Well, I've had sex a whole lot of times in my life and I have never accidentally forced anal on anyone. Accidental my ass.